the assault on DEI and the assault on what's basically. This week, the United States Secretary of State ordered that the State Department change the fonts for all written documents. Now, you all know what the font is. It's the, so you know it's the typeface.
And I know that.
Yeah. So the traditional government font has been Times New Roman. It's elegant. It's got what are called serifs. So if you think of a T, not just being a line and a line, it's a T with the little things at the top and things at the bottom, and the N for Times New Roman has got things at the bottom, and the R has a little flare at the bottom. It's very elegant. But in 2023, based on the recommendation of an internal diversity and disability group, the State Department switched the official font to Calibri. Calibri has no serifs. It doesn't have the flourishes. It's just the letters themselves. So a T is a line and a line. This can make the letters easier to read for people with dyslexia or other vision problems. The Americans with Disability Act Accessibility Standards recommends sans serif, which is without the serifs, typeface. The creator of the Calibri typeface, the one that they switched to in 2023, the new simpler, said that he designed Calibri to be, quote, very well readable on screens in small sizes, end quote, like on a phone. He wanted to make letters as clear as possible for people with visual impairments. He said, quote, designing a typeface in general is for me always a task to make it as well readable as possible, and also to give it a sympathetic voice, a friendly voice. Make things better for people with reading challenges, do something sympathetic. Sounds like DEI. And that's exactly how our new State Department looked at this 2023 change. And so this week, the State Department returned to the flourishes of the more ornate and therefore more difficult to read typeface of pre-Biden times. In explaining the change, our Secretary of State noted that this was a rejection of, quote, immoral, radical, wasteful, end quote, DEI initiatives. But he went further. He didn't just say diversity, equity, and inclusion. He added A, accessibility. That's right. The government wants not only less diversity, less equity, less inclusion, but less accessibility. And they're proudly looking for ways to root out accessibility. Accessibility is just trying to make the world a little more inclusive for those with physical impairments that preclude them from certain things. Helping you read doesn't make reading harder for me, so I support it. But helping you read, if helping you read means that you can read as easily as I can read, well, that's apparently too much for some people, and they don't support it. So it won't be long, I imagine, before some passing critics yell, 4 eyes, instead of the N-word at us. I was musing about this and putting the speech together this morning as I pulled into Dunkin' Donuts right over there this morning at 7 o'clock. And I was thinking about handicapped parking spots, and I happened to park next to it, and there was a car in the handicapped parking space. And that made me say that some people must look at this accessibility of a handicapped parking space and think of it as a threat or a wimpy liberal outrage. Why should that person get to park closer than I get to? And then an amazing thing happened. I got out of the car, I started walking into Dunkin' Donuts. We were the only people there at 7, so I passed the gentleman on the little walkway there. And as he was sort of shuffling to his car, I looked back. And I looked back, and then I took a photograph of our footprints. And if Connie's able to access it, because I can't show you the photo on my phone, since that's my phone, the big green oven mitts. But the photograph shows me with a step and a step and a step in the snow. And it shows this gentleman's footsteps. Maybe Connie can put it up in front of the phone. I don't know if this will work, but you can try to put it right up in front of it.
Comes later. Oh yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Yep.
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 And I think
Oh yeah,
there's
it's
no
like a
better image for the danger of being indifferent to differences. And I looked back and I said, look at how I walk, as this gentleman walks. And just imagine that what accessibility has meant to him, and what it'll all mean to us at some point in our lives. And how the lack of foresight that it takes to say, well, that's not me. I don't have reading difficulties, so I don't want anybody else to have an improved typeface.